Here I am back again, and I'm going to talk about the aircraft I flew in Cambodia, beginning with the Convair 440 that I picked up in Singapore. Now this airplane had been an ex-Garuda airplane, an Indonesian airline. Now Convair had sold them a whole bunch of these Convair 440s, but Garuda failed to ever pay for them or pay for the spare parts. So they slowly became unserviceable, and they were picked up for a pittance by Try-9, which was the outfit that was going to bring these Convairs to Cambodia and establish an airline there. This was a great idea. However, there was a lot of stumbling blocks in that program of developing an airline in Cambodia that would service not only the interior of Cambodia, but also international flights. And of course, as history proves, it never did come to fruition. Now the Convair I flew up out of Cambodia was really nice and got into Phnom Penh, and the first trip was out of Phnom Penh over to Battambang, which is relatively close to the Thai border. On takeoff out of there, the right engine let go, and it became a fixture of the airport after I parked it there. Not too many maintenance people would want to hang out in a war zone and work on an airplane that could be shot at any time on the ramp. So, caught a ride back to Phnom Penh. And once in Phnom Penh, of course, everybody dressed in the same uniform. So the only thing delineating you from a steward or a co-pilot was the number of stripes you had on your shoulder. So I came back out to the airport with my 4 stripes on my shoulder, and everybody was milling around, and as cargo got loaded on various airplanes, they'd start looking for a crew if they didn't have a permanent crew. Well, a Cambodian came up to me and, would you fly our C-46? I said, sure, I like C-46s, and the name of that outfit was Samaki Pianich, Work Together Airline. And I went out to the airplane, and it was already loaded and took off out of Phnom Penh, and it shook like hell on takeoff, but went down to Kampong Sam. Was going to be based down there on the coast, which is wonderful. But then one of the next trips I took to a site just north of Phnom Penh, let down in there, and there was a loud bang in the back. Well, I knew what that sound was, but my Chinese co-pilot didn't. He thought the cargo had fallen over. But got on the ground and walked around the things. Well, not a very secure airfield. So found a 50 caliber bullet hole in the right wing, right next to the fuel selector valve, out through the wing spar and to the top of the wing, and then to the cabin and wherever the hell else it wanted to go. Rather than take a detailed walk around this thing, I flew it back down to Kampong Sam on the coast, parked it there, and walked around it leisurely looking for other holes in the airplane. Now, this airplane had a 4-bladed steel electric propeller on it, Curtiss electric props. And as luck would have it, the blade that was down on this thing, when I came up to it, and like most pilots, you touch the blade or hang on to it, and I found it was moving forwards and backwards. So the whole blade was loose in the hub, and probably would soon leave the aircraft and take the engine and or wing with it. Luckily, this bad blade was down, not one of the other 3 that were up out of my reach. And so that airplane got parked. That was the end of Samaki Pianich's C-46. Next airplane that came available was a Convair 440, which I really liked that airplane, and it was with Angkor Watt Airlines. It had the image of Angkor Wat on the tail, the temples there. It's a beautiful airplane. Everything worked in it. And it also came with a steward and a stewardess, which complimented the crew. I had a Filipino co-pilot, and that is the airplane that took me to safety at the end of my adventure there. Thank you.